really handy. Yeah, it says we're live, so that's good. I'm watching people join in on the side. Hey, Keaton, I can see people kind of waiting in the waiting room. That's good. And there's a chat feature on the side for friends who are joining, so if you have questions, you can jump in there and ask me as we go. And so for friends watching at home, we're doing a live stream, and we have other musicians from the Treehouse EP who played. We're kind of waiting off to the side right now, but they'll be joining pretty soon to be able to tell us about their experience making the EP, so that'll be super fun. So I'll play one song, and then, yeah, we'll start kind of inviting people in to talk. So this first song I think I'll play is called Teach Me How to Lie, which is one of the kind of deep cuts on the album. Just about rejection and all those fun things, but I like the groove of it, and I love all the harmonies that Ben and I put on the song, so that makes me happy. I figured I'll try to play songs tonight that aren't the singles, just so, because they're newer for you guys to hear live. So just Teach Me How to Lie, but we'll get some friends in the mix. It's too soon to show you what I am hiding. Signs are showing. I answer random questions till I'm losing my footing. You hold me in your arms and ask to hear my story. And often tell you I won't be around in the morning. 'Cause I've had this conversation and it ends in hesitation. My honesty is a reward, so teach me how to lie. I'm begging for acceptance from your unforgiving eyes. I might not get it tonight. It's parts of my fate I can't change. But if I can trade it, would you stay? 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 You're polite and you say all the right things, but your doubt is showing. I try for reassurance, though I know you're believing. I can feel your distance now that I am different. I swear that I'm still the same person despite imperfections. And now I'm a complication, and you could be my replacement. My honesty is a reward, so teach me how to lie. I'm begging for acceptance from your unforgiving eyes. I might not get it tonight. It's parts of my fate I can't change. But if I can trade it, would you stay? 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 And as you drive away, I know it's the last time I'll see your face. You dare judge me for something that I didn't choose. In your moment of vulnerability, what if I walked out on you? You walk out on me, no. My honesty is a reward, so teach me how to lie. I'm begging for acceptance from your unforgiving eyes. But I won't get it tonight. On second thought, I'd never trade this. Love me for it and stay. You could've stayed, you could've stayed. You don't stay, you won't stay, you don't stay. Now you judge me for something that I didn't choose. So go off, find someone else to pursue. When they tell her imperfections I pray, she's kinder than you. Alright, well, that's the first one. And if people are watching at home, home, you can comment, I think, just under this live stream, and we can kind of respond to what you're saying. But yeah, that first one was about my OK Cupid misadventures. So that's always fun to start off on a positive note. Yeah, you can tell I'm wearing what I wore in the Treehouse photo shoot for the Treehouse that just came out today. And I have a lot of friends who are hanging out in the chat too who recorded it. So we'll bring in our first guest. His name's Keenan, and he played bass on the EP. So I'll just bring him on in. We'll have a little chat about Treehouse. Hey, Keenan.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, you know what? I need headphones to hear you. But if you want to talk a second while I grab those.
Yeah. I'll just do a mic check first.
Why don't you tell the audience about yourself, and I'll be back in 1 second, okay?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Right,
no spotlight here, right? I'm Keenan, and I played on Laura's record, obviously, and played the bass, and it was awesome, and the songs are awesome, so you better listen to them, all you people who are watching right now. So, I don't have a whole lot of space where I'm sitting right now. I don't know if I can show everybody this. I live in a tiny house, and so this little room right here is a sort of recording studio, office, and closet all in one place. So, because I know all of you are dying to know what this room was. I know.
excellent.
Anyway. Yeah, did I feel good enough?
That was great. Yeah, I got my headphones so I can hear what you're saying because I have a mic plugged in.
Everybody's like,
who's this guy? It's all good.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you played bass on the. Yeah, you too, right? I don't think I've seen you since the last recording day. It's really fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's been ages ago. 2,000 years.
Well, yes, it feels like it a little bit. But
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to since then?
Man, I have just, obviously gigs have not been happening. So, as far as music goes, I've been actually recording quite a bit on other people's stuff, but also been writing and trying to get my stuff together,
Nice.
which is a big work in progress, but it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time and just haven't had the chance to really do it. So,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, then it definitely seems like a season for creativity while everything's slowing down performance-wise to kind of get in the writing mode or playing mode. And yeah, to do it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, good. I wish you luck with that. I hope it has lots of exciting kind of fruits.
Yes. Yeah. We will. If it actually even manifests into anything, that it'll beat my expectations at that point. So
Yeah, that's great.
But,
Cool. And then so for the Treehouse EP, you played bass on it, right?
yes.
I guess if you want to just talk about your experience, kind of recording that, just how you got involved in the project, things like that.
Well, yeah. So it's really all thanks to our boy Ben Bishop. Wherever you are, Benny, love you, miss you. I know he's off in I think Colorado now. Is that right?
I think Missouri.
Yeah, one of those other states.
Close.
Yeah. Well, anyways, he was the one he and I go back a bit in terms of we played in a lot of projects together. He's had me on a lot of sessions of his and recommended me for a lot of different artists, which I'm very thankful for and blessed. And and then I met you and your session, and I remember going in there and seeing Aaron Nelson, my boy Aaron, on drums, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be good. He and I also go way back. I actually met Ben and Aaron at the same time years ago. So
nice. Don't you know Fawn Larson too? I feel like I might have met you at her house years
Fawn.
ago.
That's right.
Well, we kind of tangentially knew each other that way, but
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah.
Because then actually me and some of my bandmates moved into that house after she left.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a fun house.
Yeah. No, it was a nice house. She
yeah.
prepped it well for us. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Well, and then I guess, do you have a favorite song on the EP?
I was thinking about that. It's first of all the songs sound really great. I was really happy. I actually listened to it, twice through. Just I wanted to see what it sounded like on my Samsung TV, and actually the mix sounded really good on that. So I was like, oh, cool. So I played it over twice, and
Nice.
I specifically remember doing Eager. That one is just groovy. It's got that old school R&B thing going with it. It's I love it, and of course the claps.
Yes.
The fabled claps.
The fabled claps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I love that one. I love the bass line for that, which I'm very, very picky about what I end up playing. In fact, it's really good. I don't know if Ben or other producer friends I've worked with know this, but they'll usually give me the go ahead of yeah, okay, that was good. You're done. And I won't want to hear it back usually, because I'm just okay, I trust them because I know I'm going to sit there and nitpick about it if I listen to it. So, anyways, but yeah, that one definitely sticks with me. It's just fun, but also Spin, man, that one came out really nice and it's super catchy.
Yeah. So I remember for that one, like the drums are just so driving on Spin too. The way Aaron was playing that day, it really gives it this whole other kind of two-step almost country feel.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, no, Aaron did it right. He always does it right. But,
especially in that sense. Yeah, and for Eager too. Remember Ben and I were listening to it in the studio, and your bass line came in, and I was like, what if we just start with that, and then we kind of have the drums, and so I like how your bass line starts off that whole song, and it's just so groovy, like you were saying. So.
I had forgotten that it did that, so it was a refresher right there.
Yeah, and my mom just commented and said that Eager is a favorite of hers as well. So
I was like, okay, Jennifer, right on. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's all about it. Cool. Is there anything else you want to share or promote or talk about while you're here?
Golly, there's always. I feel like because we've all been, in this sort of quarantine mindset, it's there's so much to share, and there's just never gonna be enough time to do it now. But no, I'm just gonna say to anybody listening and watching, just check out these songs. They're really good, and I seriously hear a couple of these on soundtracks, for things, and especially with all the new shows that are coming up on Netflix and Hulu and things like that. I definitely think you need to try to get one of those placed on stuff like that, So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Definitely. I'll keep trying. It's cool.
Awesome. Well done.
Cool. Thank you. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Keenan.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's good to see your face again, and yeah. Yeah,
it's going really well. Cool. So stay safe and keep rocking on the bass.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, see you.
See ya.
All right, let's see who else is. I know Josephine said that she had to maybe go sooner rather than later. Let's see. I see someone named Melissa. Is that Josephine by chance? Let me just throw a thing in the chat real quick and see. If not, we'll just kind of go from there. But and if people who are watching, there is a comment thing down below. If you have any questions or songs you want to hear or questions you want answered, feel free to drop that in the chat too, and we can kind of respond to you in real time. But yeah, it's been really fun to have this kind of release day today, and I appreciate all the support and love on social media that's been going on in terms of shares and things like that. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Okay, perfect. So I think this is a friend, which is awesome. And you're welcome to join that way too. Ben's here. I see. So yeah, for the people joining, there's a list of people, but it's not letting me scroll down for some reason. But let me just bring in maybe, I'm trying to see if there's a way to. Oh, I found out how to scroll. Okay. This is technology, we're learning. So let me bring Josephine in. We can talk for a little bit, and I think she might have her fiddle too, and then we'll go from there. I'm great on live TV, everybody. But hey, Josephine, thanks for joining us. How are you doing? You too. I know it's been so long.
I was thinking that as I was listening to this song today. I actually stopped and I thought, is that me? Or did I find another fiddle prayer?
No, it's you. It's you.
Well, I think Ben was the one that made me sound good then, because
he does work some magic.
He must have.
Yeah. So what have you been up to in this 2020?
Right. Well, I normally am playing at this time. I would normally be playing a lot of gigs as a fiddle player, but because I can't play live in a full piece band right now, I'm actually doing a lot of solo stuff. And I've been working on. I heard it sounds like a lot of people are doing this right now. I've been working on doing sort of a classic country set as just me and my guitar. And it's been really fun. It's something I've always wanted to do, but never really had time for.
Yeah.
So like a little silver lining, I've had time to practice and learn songs.
Exactly. There's always more to do, more to learn. It's a good season for learning too. Cool. And yeah, I was like, that's like, how'd you get involved in the project?
Well, I had known Ben before through just some mutual friends, I think, and he just texted me and asked me, and I was really excited because it was a really fun project. Like I have really good memories of the recording process, and then listening to it again, it's really cool to hear it, you know, all polished up and all come together. This is a great record.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, a lot. Yeah, like and like I remember you played on the first EP back in 2016. I released called Ramble On too, so that was cool to hear you on the first one with them.
Right.
Growing on the second one too.
That's really cool. How long ago was that?
Yeah, that was 2016, so I guess 4 years now. So
that seems like a lifetime ago. Right? I guess it was only 4 years ago.
Yep. The world we're in now.
It's been a long year.
Yep. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Each month is long. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then like, do you have like a favorite song on the EP? If you've been listening to it,
I think She Must Go.
Yeah.
And I think that because just super selfishly, that fiddle sounds great. And seriously, was me. I know what I normally sound like. That is some Ben Bish magic happening in there. It's really good. Selfishly, just how I sound.
Yes, no, that sounds amazing. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and on the break part.
Yeah, that's what it was. It took me by surprise. I had totally forgotten that it was in there. I remembered. So during that, he actually wrote out sheet music for me as we went, and I read it.
That's right, yeah.
And I remembered that, but I had forgotten about the breakdown. It's such an interesting song. There's so much going on in there.
Yeah, it's very like
layers, which I like a lot.
Yeah, it's cool how it kind of builds, and that song definitely doesn't follow like the verse chorus thing. And like when I was writing it, I tried to make it do that, and I was like, nope, it's just gonna do its own thing. And it was
it's really unique subject matter too.
Yeah,
I think it really works. Like it's not just a love song or something. Right. Not that there's anything wrong with just saying love, but it's a unique, unusual song, and so I like that it has some unique. I like the bridge is really great, and then a lot of So that's my favorite. Obviously, slightly self-centered.
No, it's all good. Exactly. No, you gotta listen for yourself too. And I like your part on a Teach Me How to Lie to the end. There's this one thing where you just like fiddle part that just goes super up, and it's like this crescendo, and it gets all dramatic at the end. So I especially like you on there too. But,
thank you. Yeah.
But no, the fiddle definitely adds a lot to the whole project.
I feel like like there's a joyfulness to all of this music. And I remember that in the recording process that like, I mean, you are a very joyful person. And so I think maybe you can't help it.
My moments, yes.
It was a very like, yeah, I don't know, like fun, but like joyful, celebratory, it felt, recording those. I love that that is really how they came through, you know?
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad that kind of happiness got through on the other side. Although, like, I remember, like, for the bridge part on that She Must Go song, like you asked for, like, you know, like what's the feeling of the song? And I was like, okay, so pretend you're, like, wrestling with your shame. Like, okay, and you just, like, jumped into it. But I just remember that.
I forgot all about that.
Remember that exchange of, like, okay, here we go. In the weeds.
See, that's why it's good, because you just gave me good instructions.
Because I'm character acting, but with a fiddle.
I forgot wrestling.
Wrestle with your fiddle, exactly. And speaking of your fiddle, do you have your fiddle with you tonight? Do you want to play something?
I do have my fiddle with me tonight. And by the way, if you hear anything in the background, I'm borrowing someone's office, but I'm on a camping trip. If you hear like a big splash, it's because somebody jumped into the pool.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
There's dogs and cats here. It's the best vacation ever.
Right? That sounds magic of technology.
Oh my god! I called my friend who's letting us camp here, and I was like, "Do you have Wi-Fi? Because we're really in the middle of nowhere, southern Missouri. We're in Humansville, Missouri, which is about 500 people.
Wow, man. You're out there. Go for it.
It's wonderful. It's peaceful. Nobody up in your business.
Yep.
I thought I might just do a Shokin farewell, if that sounds good.
That's fun. Yeah. Yeah. That was beautiful. Do that all day long. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything else you want to talk about or promote or share while you're here?
I mean, if anybody is interested, what I'm doing a lot of live streams on my music page, which is Josephine Michener live streaming, just over on Facebook. But you can also find me at Josephine Michener on Instagram, and I'm just doing sort of like classic country every couple of weeks. But it's a fun time. There's usually some drinking songs. It's kind of a party. If anybody's interested in that.
Sounds wonderful. I'll definitely check that out.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you again. I'm so excited that this is out in the world.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for joining us in the middle of your camping trip. I really appreciate it. Excellent. All right. Well, I'll see you, I guess, next time. There's
Great.
Bye. Thank you, Josephine. Bye. All right. So we have a few more friends in the wings. I might bring in Caleb next and then save Ben for last because I'm sure everyone knows things about him and then he can comment on everything. But we'll get Caleb and then Ben maybe and then go from there. So I'm going to toggle off Josephine and then, we'll bring Caleb in and talk a little bit and then we'll get to talk to Ben. And Melissa, that's totally cool that you're here too. I was just asking to make sure it wasn't somebody who needed to be let in, but we're really glad you're with us and enjoying all the music and the stories. So thanks for hanging out with us. It's going really well. So we'll get Caleb in now, and then we'll talk to him. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
You?
Good. Doing really well. I know, right? So, what are you up to in 2020?
Oh, a whole lot of sitting around.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of recording and a lot of teaching as well. Between those things, keeping fairly busy, a lot busier than I thought I would be at the start of the year. So, how about yourself?
Yes, it's going well. I'm learning banjo a little bit in my spare time, slow and steady. And then working during the day and learning more about the promotion kind of industry side for this whole kind of Treehouse project too. So it's been fun, but definitely staying busy. So
that's great.
And then I guess just how did you get involved in the kind of Treehouse project? And
I'm trying to remember when we did this. It feels so long.
I think it was like last summer, maybe like June or July. Yeah. It's a while ago.
I think I got a text from Wilson Harwood.
Oh yeah.
I've known Wilson for a few years. And he texted me and asked if I would play mandolin on this project. He didn't tell me who it was or what it was. It's just usually, the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked to Ben Bishop, and just showed up, and I think we tracked in the evening. And of course, I know it was funny because I think like a month or so after that, I saw Josephine at Layla's downtown, and she's like, "Hey, did you play on this Laura Mustard project?" I said, "Yes, I think I did." So we reconnected. I've known Josephine since before I even moved to Nashville. So I've known her for close to 7 years now, which is insane.
Right.
Yeah, but so that's how I got involved, and it was a lot of fun. And I remember it being, I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting the twists and turns that were there. I think Wilson sold it as or maybe even Ben sold it as like a singer-songwriter album. So I was picturing that, but not, with the interesting twists and turns that you have involved, which make it really fun to listen to and really fun to play.
Thank you.
Very, very pleasurable experience.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. Yeah, and speaking of Wilson, he's actually the one who's giving me my banjo lessons.
I wondered.
All the banjo players.
He's great. He's a great guy.
He's awesome. Yeah, great dude. And I'm going to have him on a live stream next month talking about spin. So that's why he's not here now, but he will have his own kind of banjo solo now.
He has to have his own show.
Exactly. That's what he deserves. Cool. And then I'd like to ask if you have a favorite song on Treehouse that you've heard or that you played on.
Yeah, I was listening today, and I think it's probably Nobody's Road is what I keep going back to. Just nice and honestly, the whole thing is really, really fun to listen to. And I try to categorize music in ways that, like, oh, this will be a really good thing to listen to if I don't want to have to like analyze a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And it's just something really nice I can sit into, and I listen to this and I find myself like, oh, what was that? And so then I immediately start like, it's just way more interactive than I always think it is. And so I like that. I think it's great.
Cool.
It's a wonderful aspect that you don't normally get in singer-songwriter projects, personally. But,
yeah, and so and like a lot of that I think is Ben's production too. That he's very good at kind of adding layers and bringing things in and taking them out at fun times. And like I liked your kind of riff on Nobody's Road too, like in the beginning and then after the first chorus, go, because that wasn't really planned, but it's now to me just becomes it's like a central like riff of that song. You know, it just came in the studio.
Well, I just the song was already there. I just sprinkle a little stuff on it.
Little things on it, yeah.
All the good stuff was already there.
Exactly, yeah. Like and the bridge for that song too. I like how the mandolin gets all trippy too. So and that was Ben's doing too, of making it more echoey, and so a lot of good things. But cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of mandolins, do you want to play a little bit if you have something nearby? It doesn't have to be mandolin either, but just whatever you're feeling.
Nobody ever asked me to play anything else, so.
I was hoping you had it, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll, here. I'll do a song I wrote called Evelyn. Every time I look at the sea, I wonder if you're on the other side, looking back at me. And every time I look at the stars, I wonder if you're seeing them, wherever you are. I start friends, they've seen you around, they've seen you loving on life, a sweet and sound. But they say that they don't know where they want to go. But the truth is I don't miss you, Evelyn. I don't miss that cell you about to knock me in. Every time I think about you, I start to grin, 'cause there's no us, Evelyn. No. See, I don't care to know where you are. I promise I'm a happy man, but don't you go too far. 'Cause your eyes, I lose the sky. Makes me always wanna live that other life. But the truth is I don't miss you, Evelyn. I don't miss that cell you like to knock me in. Every time I think about you, I start to grin, 'cause there's no us, Evelyn. me up in the cell you trapped me in. Every time I think about you, I start to grin. You've got my heart running off the within. If I had another chance to begin again, I loved you once, but the love always wins. 'Cause there's no us, Evelyn. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
That's beautiful. I like that a
Thank
lot.
you. Appreciate it.
The melody, like the vocal melody too, it kind of went surprising places at times.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I recorded that in 2018 with a band of mine called Lateral Blue.
Oh yeah.
So that was, but yeah, appreciate you having me on, and
Yeah.
congrats on the release. And it's a beautiful project, and you should be very proud of it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Anything else you want to promote or talk about while you're here?
I'm teaching lessons if you want to hear, if you want to learn how to play the mandolin.
Right.
So I am doing that, and obviously I can record from home.
Yeah. Very cool.
I can do everything but tour. So if you need anything but touring in your life, I can do that.
Excellent. Yeah, check out Caleb. Yeah, he's awesome. after I master the banjo, I might move on to the mandolin. So
There you go.
I'll let
Well,
you know.
all right. Well, I know a guy, so just let me know.
Will do. Thanks for hanging out with us, Caleb. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right. So I think we're going to have Ben come on now, since everyone's been saying awesome things about him. And he is the producer of the EP project, of the Treehouse project. So I'm excited. So here comes Ben. And great introductions. But hey, Ben.
Laura, long time no see.
Right? Yeah. How's life in Missouri?
Oh, really good. I actually
Florida?
thought that Josephine also lives here, so I don't know how far away she or she's camping here. I don't know if
Yeah.
she lives here or she's camping here, but in either case, if you're not too far from Columbia, let's hang out.
Excellent.
But yeah, first off, I don't think I've ever been involved with a project that put together a kind of a cool online release party where people involved in the project can come and talk about the experience and share stories. And that there's an audience that can tune in. So this is really cool. I think more people should do this. And it was really nice to see everybody. I haven't seen pretty much everybody since the project. So it's really nice to see the faces and hear the voices again. And I wish we could have all been like talking at the same time, but I feel like that would like devolve into just like laughing and stories. And I feel like we might forget that there's an audience tuning in that wants to hear about the project. So.
That's true. Yeah, pros and cons, I guess.
Exactly.
Each method.
We'll save that for another time.
Exactly. Yes, that'll be like the reunion tour.
I'm really excited that the project is released now, and it's on Spotify, all the streaming platforms, and everything. So I always love seeing releases come out of things that I've been involved with. So thank you for choosing me again to help with your music and your project. It was a lot of fun to work on.
Of course. Yeah, no, I had a blast. I like how kind of creative you are with it and how kind of just up for anything you are with it too. That's always fun. Like the tin can phone thing is the thing I've been asked more often about, I guess, around this. And
yeah. Well, I feel like not too often do producers get to kind of explore more creative genres and like experiment. I feel like, especially at least in the areas that I was working in, first it was more like pop country, and then it was kind of more electronic pop. There's kind of this narrow lane where you kind of have to, follow the conventions, and you could experiment, but it has to be within certain sonic, borders. But I feel like with working with you, one of the fun things was that we were able to kind of feed off of each other and try some, just be like, hey, you want to talk through some tin cans and record that? And you're like, yeah, I really do. And it's not something I was used to, so it was a fun change.
Thank you. Yeah, and like especially with like kind of the question of genre, like I never really know where to put myself because like Eager is more of like a Motown thing, and Spin ended up more country
Yeah.
and other things, which like Americana or folk.
But it still all sounds like your particular songwriting style, your playing style, your singing. So I think
That's it.
that's common in songwriters. I think a lot of times people wonder if their first album is because they include different types of songs and they're worried that it's going to sound, kind of disjointed. But really, from an outsider's perspective, there's this like thread that goes through all of them. Even if the songs are different in like the way they're written, it's still there's a theme that is really signature to most people's music and especially yours. So, but yeah, for people who don't know, yeah, for the song Treehouse, we recorded some background vocals as kind of like the old Little Rascals Treehouse sort of situation where there's like two soup cans with a string in between, and we experimented with different lengths because if it was too short, you wouldn't just hear the tin can, you'd hear her singing, 4 feet away from you. So we kept having to make it longer and longer until she was like in my backyard singing the background part. I was in my studio recording the microphone right next to the soup cans. So that was one of a kind experience.
One of a kind, yeah. And like I think we tried like solo cups or something first to see if that would work, and that didn't work. But yeah, you get the real thing. Think of that. Yeah. And then I guess just like, do you have a favorite song on the project that you worked with, or?
I mean, I really like all of them, but the ones that thankfully I've been able to listen to the songs, whichever one I wanted to, whether or not it was released, because I have access to the masters in your link that you sent. And I kept going back to Treehouse and Nobody's Road. Those two are probably some of my favorites, but definitely Eager as well was really cool. I mean, I could probably talk about all of them as far as like memories and interesting things. I don't know how much time we have, but cut me off if whenever I have to. One other cool thing about the Treehouse song is so you were excited about having all these great musicians play on the record, and like I was saying, a lot of the music I worked on, it was kind of just me and the artist, and I can only play certain instruments. So having all these extra people come in was great, but I'm not used to like figuring out what goes when, because it's like I have all these really interesting bass lines, banjo lines, mandolin lines, violin, guitar, piano. Like, so the challenge was like, okay, as far as the mix went, what to feature when. And in the beginning of Treehouse, I think it kind of all was coming in together. I think there might have been like a piano chord and some guitar and all those different violin and mandolin and banjo. And I think just as a mistake, I hit the mute button on my on the piano and I think maybe even the guitar too, and the fiddle in the beginning. And so all it was like the banjo and the mandolin and maybe a little bit of acoustic guitar with nothing else, not even any like drums or anything like that. It was a mistake, but I hit the mute button and played it, and I was like, whoa, that sounds really cool. And that wasn't even the intro. That was like later on in the song. And I just looped that for a while. I was like, this is a really like folky, nice loop. I could just listen to this like, for a while. So like, what if I just start the song like that? So that's why it just starts off with just a couple of acoustic instruments, and then the song just kind of builds from there.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear, like, kind of the production side and just little stories like that even I didn't know, because I guess there is those kind of decisions where, like, you would just kind of send me a mix, like, oh, that sounds great,
right.
But you don't realize all the decisions that go into putting what where with that.
Like, it's also, like, what not to do, like, what not to have in a certain section so that you can feature something else. That's also the challenge, but also the fun part, too, for me. So, yeah, we talked about Eager a little bit. That's definitely, like, one of the most upbeat, fun songs on the record. Everything from like the bass line to the background vocals to the claps, it's all just high energy and kind of nostalgic throwback. And I just remember I brought it up to you like way too many times, but I brought up this instrument called the bass harmonica, which for those of you who don't know, like I hadn't heard of it either, but a normal size harmonica, this thing's like way bigger, way thicker, and gets these really low notes that almost doesn't sound like a harmonica. And so I found some samples of some bass harmonica because I couldn't play it. I couldn't find anyone else who could play it. So I found some samples and I was, adjusting them to fit in the song in like kind of a cool way. And it is kind of a retro instrument too, so it fit the vibe of the song. But finally, I got a chance to use that instrument on a song, so that was fun.
That's right. Yeah, like I remember you being really excited about that. And like anyone who kind of came to the studio, you would like play the sample of it, and well, it's cool too because when you hear it, like it almost sounds like a horn or something, but it's not a horn section. It's the bass harmonica. So if you know like what you think is a horn of either,
right.
It's not.
I don't know that many great horn players, so it worked out. It was hard to put a brass section together.
Exactly. I haven't attempted that yet.
Yeah, and also when we were recording the claps, it was kind of fun to like fake out the engineer because the challenge with claps is try to everyone clap together on the same beat, but we were kind of punking him. So the first take, we all just decided to clap randomly, completely out of time, and just keep doing that until he stopped the take, which took him maybe like 10 or 15 seconds, a little bit longer than.
I was gonna say,
we wanted it just to be chaotic clapping, but no, the real take which is what you hear in the song.
Yeah. I think that did last longer than I think we all thought it would, but I also like how like excited everybody got from that like in the room kind of vibe. Everybody was like fired up for it.
Pranking is a good way to get people excited to do something.
Exactly. Yeah, it really brought the energy. If you hear a special energy in the clapping, that's what it was. Yeah. Any other stories that pop out, or you can kind of jump into music too?
Spin was kind of interesting because we did that. We were working on that song while there was a tornado in that.
That's right.
It wasn't the really bad tornado that we had, the one before that. So it was funny that we were working on Spin during tornado.
Yeah, and I have a video I'll kind of post because actually, spoiler alert, Spin may or may not be the next single that I'll start talking about a lot on my social media in the next week or two. But there's a video of like Wilson doing the banjo part in that, but you can hear the tornado sirens in the background. There's like lightning out the window, and it was one of those things of like, I don't know if we should hunt her down, but we're just kind of here. So.
Too bad we didn't work that into the song as a sound effect.
Right? Yeah. Put the mic out the window in the middle of the tornado and get out of it.
And then, I think Nobody's Road was just really fun to work on because it's it's another really great song, but it's got some deeper meaning behind it, I think, which is really cool. And I like the bridge. We were able to get a little bit spacier than like some of the other songs, which are more like organic sounding. We kind of got more experimental in the bridge of that song and used some interesting effects and things like that. That was definitely fun. And then, of course, at the end, there's a motorcycle sound that just randomly happened while we were recording. So it's like, hey, it's called Nobody's Road, so let's leave it in there.
Let's leave it in there, yeah. It worked out. Well, yeah, and I remember Ian Robinson came over for the cello, which was mostly on She Must Go, which gives it this whole other sound. But then I think you had the idea of like, can you make like weird, spooky kind of space noises? And then I think you put that in the bridge of Nobody's Road to make it even more trippy.
Oh, yeah. That's always I always try to put something in that you wouldn't think to just record your first time through. Because who thinks, I'm going to play this song down, but let me just do these random screechy sounds. Like in a studio, the producer would normally look at you like, "What's that guy doing?" But like in this case, I thought it would sound really cool.
Yeah,
and it did.
Yes, you were right. Yeah, and there's one mix you sent me where like the drums accidentally dropped out on the on the bridge, but like you can hear the spaciness even more, and especially like the mandolin and the I think the spooky cello sounds kind of play off each other really well there. So I might post that in the next.
We could save that for the collector's edition.
Yes, the Treehouse. Exactly. It'll be my next quarantine project.
But yeah, it was a really fun project to work with, and again, thanks for choosing me again to work on this. So I definitely have a lot of fun memories of the process.
Yeah, right. Thank you for jumping on again and kind of just being creative and doing a bunch of exciting things with that one. It was really fun to kind of see where that goes, and like especially because as you like play those songs for years, they kind of have their own field and then taking them to the studio with the producer and all these other instruments, it kind of gives them a new life and a
Oh yeah.
feel to them, which is really exciting as a songwriter in that process. But cool. Well, I guess, do you want to play a song while you're here?
Yeah. So I don't have, as a producer, I don't have much of my own music released, but this is a song I co-wrote with a friend of mine and put on my producer page on streaming platforms, Obed, OBEDS, and I wrote this song with Justin Lloyd, and so he's singing on that version, but it's a good song no matter who's singing it, I think. It's called Never Look Back. Won't let these arms become a cage, 'cause every night ends up the same. I get close, you push away. This can't last another day. Second hand ticks till dawn. You've been here for too long. When tomorrow comes, be far away. Standing still is a step back. Someone else can take my place, but if you stay, you'll regret that. So promise me you'll never look back. 2,000 miles, 16 states. The other coast calls your name. It's further away the longer you wait. The life you have is the one you take. Second hand ticks till dawn. You've been here for too long. When tomorrow comes, be far away. Standing still is a step back. Someone else can take my place, but if you stay, you'll regret that. So promise me you'll never look back. I hear what you're saying, that your heart can't take it, but you'll be okay, I'll be strong. No hesitation, fears are for facing. Let this be our last dust till dawn. When tomorrow comes, be far away. Standing still is a step back. Someone else can take my place, but if you stay, you'll regret that. Whoa, whoa. So promise me you'll never look back. Whoa, whoa. Promise me you'll never look back. Ooh.
Yay! That was beautiful. I like that song a lot. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for playing that one. And did you co-write that song you said, or?
Yeah, I played it on an old upright piano, and that's the only time I've really we've recorded it with keyboard instruments. This is the ukulele version. It sounds a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I like the ukulele. That's a nice nice sound on it. It's a cool instrument to kind of give it more of a happy, upbeat feel. It's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to play something too sad on the ukulele, but I'm trying.
Bunch of minor chords.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. I guess while you're here, is there anything you want to promote or talk about?
Just if you're interested in checking out my productions and my music, it's OBEDS, OBEDS.
Cool.
On all the streaming platforms.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll check that out. Very cool. Well, thanks for hanging with us for a bit and telling us stories of EP and all that. And
yeah, good luck with everything.
thank you. Yeah, it's exciting to kind of see it out in the world, but we'll see what happens as we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll put you back in the side spot now and have maybe Andrew pop in. But thank you so much for hanging, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. See ya. Hi. Cool. And so now, I guess in the studio we have someone in person because he lives here, so he can kind of pop in. So I'll step up for a minute and let him come. I guess if you want to play first, and then maybe after if you want to chill, we can talk. Recording and then maybe play a few songs together. So right now we have Andrew Lang, who is live in the live stream.
Hey y'all, my name is Andrew Lang. I'm a singer-songwriter here in Nashville. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. And I'll do a new one. I wrote this one pretty recently. It's called When All This Is Over. When all this is over, I wanna go home again to the place that I grew up and see all my family and friends. Ain't no place I'd rather be as the world ends. When all this is over, I wanna go home again. But I ain't thriving, but at least I'm surviving. Barely succeeding, but at least I'm trying. Things could be worse, at least I ain't dying, so I ain't complaining, and I ain't crying. When all this is over, I wanna go home again, to the place that I grew up, see all my family and friends. Ain't no place I'd rather be. The world ends when all this is over. When all this is over. When all this is over, I wanna go home again. Thanks. That one's called When All This Is Over.
Yay.
Come in here.
Yeah. You can show me. Oh. Yeah, that was a really song. Topical. Also made a mistake of looking at the news before I started this live stream, but that's okay. We're just gonna play music right now. But yeah, we thought since Andrew plays harmonica on yeah, Since Andrew plays harmonica on the Treehouse EP, that'd be fun to have him here play harmonica live for some of the songs that are on the album. But I guess I can do a little bit of the too.
Okay.
So do you have like a favorite song that's on Treehouse?
I think I like Nobody's Road. And I like a lot of them. I think that one's, it's kind of personal to you, I think, but also hopefully it is inspirational to people who are struggling with their own feelings that are kind of talked about in the song.
Yeah, I hope it's relatable. It's originally I was going to make it a single because I felt like it was too personal. It was cool to just see all the positive response. I appreciate everyone listening and sharing that one. And then, yeah, actually, in terms of how you got involved in the project, I know you obviously we met at Cafe Coco back in the day a while ago. And you were playing a harmonica back then too. And so I was thinking about meeting our harmonica player. We got the best in the house. Here we are. Cool. So yeah, I just took and play some of them. I know.
Which one did you want to read first?
I was trying to think maybe Eager first, more upbeat and happy, and then so we can go as long as we want. We can party till midnight if we want.
Yeah, neighbors.
4-hour live stream. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Alright. Yeah, this is Eager. And if y'all are at home watching, you want to clap at home.
Oh yeah, I got clap.
Yeah, got the claps there. No samples. No takes. Yeah, so. Got entangled, but I'm already looking around to see what other trouble I can get into. Maybe I should keep my hands to myself for a while. Cause my toes are covered in grass stains from playing outside. But when I had a good time from being careful, I've been thinking you and me can make some mischief. Cause I made a fool of myself more times than I can count. It's a shame to say I never tried to celebrate the nights that I cried. Go ahead, call me eager. I just like to know you better. It's a shame to say I never tried. It could be the time that I get it right. Romantic, so get used to my antics because I'm more even behind ghosts sharing the song. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll see me without my hat on. I'm ready running laps and on my track, mom, but maybe I can get better going way out of town. Come on, sit beside me, I love to get lost now. And I've made a fool of myself more times than I can count. It's a shame to say I never tried to celebrate the wins that I cried on. Go ahead, call me eager. I just like to know you better. It's a shame to say I never tried. It could be the time that I get it right. I could write a book, you could be my next chapter, my happily ever after. Either way, I'd love to turn some pages with you. never tried. Celebrate the nights and cry. Go ahead, don't be eager. I just like to know you're better. Things said, never tried. Give me the time to get it right. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it right. Sing it, hey love, hey love. I just got entangled, but I'm already looking around to see what I just trouble I can get into. The razzing one. I was thinking of production stuff too. I like how Ben put that on the second verse after the joke about Sydney with my hat on. That was I seriously like laugh still every time I hear it, even though I know it's coming. Like it makes me laugh every time. But I like that one too. And even for that riff on Eager, that wasn't really planned. That was something you just kind of did in the studio. That was another one that just kind of became a signature thing of that song. That was cool. So I figured we had to play that tonight. So sure. Cool. Well, we can do Treehouse. That is the title track.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. This is it. This is the big one. You also, while you're here, you starred in the music video for Treehouse.
Yeah.
Had a very challenging role of playing my love interest in that video.
Yeah, that was a tough role.
Some good acting skills. Any stories or thoughts about that experience? Or
Yeah, it was a lot of fun being out there. It's a pretty unique place. Pretty memorable, just living in a tree house like that. The song and the video and everything, I know a lot of people have said it's really touching, and so that's really cool too that people are enjoying the video and that it means something to them.
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that you can see if you haven't seen it yet. It's on YouTube. If you want to see the video we're talking about, we filmed it at Treetop Hideaways, which is down in Georgia, but they're also Airbnb. So if you want to socially distance in a treehouse, you can do that. It's a good place to get away from it all and just make your own bubbles. Just an idea, but yeah, they're super accommodating and everything too. So
Yeah.
I like to shout them out whenever possible. So yeah, that was the one that kind of sparked the whole idea. Like as soon as we finished writing the song, I knew I wanted to find a treehouse and do a music video in it. Just all the cool kind of pictures and album art that could come from it. So that was kind of the idea of like, okay, I guess I'm making another EP.
Yeah.
All these songs. So, and then I like how the songs that we compiled all became about self-acceptance, but there's a good theme running through it. But so anyway, after all the talking, we'll play Treehouse now. Meet me in the middle of the world. Walk beneath the sky and leave till we both feel good. And forget the world that we left behind. The long clocks went into and red lights. We run away like we didn't get live as high as we feel off the ground. If they could see us, they never reach us. We'll be settling down up in our treehouse. Oh, take my hand and follow me up the ladder. Push open the trap door, stand on deep into the dark. Is my home where you are. We'll run away like we little kids. Live as high as we feel. From the river. If they get to us, they never return. We'll be settling down. Up in our sweetheart. Oh, up in our sweetheart. Oh, from the head to the nail, from the bone to the soul. Into the roof, from the head to the nail, from the bone to the soul. We look back on this life we built together, built a life. Say we're gonna go. Hey, yeah. We'll run away like we little kids. Live as long as we feel. I'll be there. And if they could see us, they'd never return. We'll be settling down. Up in our sweetheart. Oh, up in our sweetheart. Oh, up in our sweetheart. We'll run away. Up in our sweetheart. We'll run away. Up in our sweetheart. Oh. Yeah. Like, I find that with harmonica. Sounds very just playing. In fact, I remember like in the recording studio, I remember using the word sea shanty when I heard like what you were doing. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
the kind of in and out part of the song. Very nice. Middle of the second verse, I was like, oh yeah, the sea shanty dancing. I'm really excited. So that's beautiful. That was Treehouse.
Yeah, that's true.
It was going really well.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to try to do spin real quick?
Sure.
Okay, that's in the key of G. I'm going to try to play it very simply on the banjo. I brought my banjo. I thought I'd try the banjo one time. Yeah, I started playing it with Wilson Harwood, who played banjo on the EP. We actually met at like a meditation retreat, and we were on break, and he was talking about banjos, and I got one for my birthday, but didn't know how to play it. And out of whim, I was like, oh, do you happen to get banjo lessons? He's like, so here I am, slowly learning banjo, one Zoom meeting at a time. That's 2020. But yeah, it's going really well. Let's see. It's pretty easy. So yeah, I know a little bit of, look at that, that's the wrong direction. See, I'm newer. I spent a long time doing the claw hammer style, which doesn't need the picks. I started doing the picks like a few weeks ago. Yes, I know enough to get through a pop song. So anyway, we'll try spin on this. And it's cool because it's very different from when I play on the banjo and how it's recorded. But yeah, we'll try it this way. You can also play wagon wheel. How scary. My first time playing banjo hot sunrise behind gray sky. Now live to the cadence of the raindrops over Pull me close beneath these clouds, tangled up in your skin against mine. Mine, is this right? So still, so calm. In the morning light, teach that your soft kiss are wrapped up in you. Before the world starts to spin and spin and spin, got me wrapped up in you. And spin and spin and spin now. And I say, baby, it's spring. You say, I know that I'm not sorry. Only in kiss me, around strangling, lose track inside. Running, she's right on. So still, so good. In the morning light, teach that your soft are wrapped up in you. Before the world starts to spin and spin and spin, got me wrapped up in you. And spin and spin, got me spinning around, deep inside these thoughts. Not crazy outside, ain't no getting out. Got this moment away from everything. Time slows down with your eyes on me. And spin and spin and spin, got me wrapped up in you. And spin and spin, got me. Yay! My banjo debut. That's the harmonica too. Alright, well that's probably a good one to end on.
Oh,
I think my mom commented when you were playing during yours. Great song for these times. So that's good, very topical. Excellent. Well, if anyone else watching has any comments, throw them in now and we can answer your questions. But otherwise, we'll see what the dog goes up to. They look in the middle of Ben's song. I have my headphones, but she's like literally outside the door. I can see her fur under the crack. But she did a really loud sigh, and I picked up on the mic, and it went like straight into my ears.
she's right there.
She got a little
Her little fat roll is sinking through the crack.
That's Bodie. She's gonna get Mac. Anyway, so on that note, thank y'all for hanging out with us. If you haven't heard Treehouse, it's on wherever you stream music, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I also launched my web store today. So if you go to lauramustard.com, there's a button that says shop, and you can click that and it takes you to the store. And on that store, there's CDs. So you can hear CDs and get the physical copy, which I can mail to you in 1 to 2 weeks. But it'll be coming your way. There's also mugs and shirts and things. So, Treehouse, the mug features this really cool little treehouse design in the corner there that was created by Casey, a friend of mine, Casey Caldwell. She made this custom lyric art for the EP. This is also featured in the video. I want to show that off. We did a little partnership thing. She created custom lyric art for me. But the treehouse little design is on some of the merch too, which is pretty cool. So, and if you do want this in your own home, my mom requested for Christmas. I can reach out to Casey and get this for you too. So if you'd like some lyric artwork from Treehouse, we can make that happen. So then I have the typewriter needed because my friend Faye in the Netherlands sells Treehouse and sells typewriters on Etsy. And so she's been kind of sharing my stuff too. These are all in the music videos as well. So I had to have them there for showing purposes. But anyway, I guess that's all the stuff I want to talk about. My mom says impressive banjo playing, so that's good. Thank you. She is in Massachusetts, I think, right now. Last time I did this, she was in Maine, so like she's
Nice.
gallivanting around New England. We're here with the dog. Anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. Just check out Treehouse if you didn't see it. Check out the music videos. Support all the artists that were here tonight. Big thank you to Ben Bishop, Josephine Mishner, Caleb Edwards, Keaton Payne, and Andrew Lang. We're all here. We also had Ian Robinson on the cello and Wilson Harwood who played on the EP that weren't here tonight. But Aaron Nelson on the drums too. That's the danger of listing everybody. I'm always afraid I'm going to forget. But the credits are all on my Instagram if you don't know who they are. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. We had a blast. I had fun. I could do this all night, but I know you guys probably have other things to do. So thanks for hanging with us.
Still there.
See ya. Okay, bye.